Hey guys, this is Holland with the Wolverine.com, and we're back with another episode of Recruit of the Week. Before we highlight this week's prospect, I do want to remind you guys to subscribe to the Wolverine.com today for just $29.99 until August 31st of this year. That gets you premium insider recruiting information, team information, basketball recruiting, NIL, transfer portal, and so much more. Plus, you get to be part of a great message board community over on the Fort. All of that for just $29.99 until August 31st. That gets you through the end of basketball season, spring football, summer official visit season. So take advantage of our limited time offer now by subscribing to the Wolverine.com for just $29.99 until August 31st. All right, guys, let's go ahead and talk about Michigan's biggest cornerback target, and that is Bryce West out of Cleveland, Ohio, Glenville High School, ranked as the number 5 cornerback in the country and number 29 overall recruit nationally per On3. West is as elite as you can get at the corner position, and like I said, he is the priority on the corner board along with fellow Ohio native Aaron Scott. A lot to like about Bryce West. He's not necessarily a super tall, long corner like Michigan's used to recruiting. He's right at about 5'11", 175 pounds, so pretty standard size for your corner prospect, but he is one heck of an athlete. He's extremely fast, has great 40 times that have been verified at camps. Really explosive type of corner, and Michigan has been looking to get faster and more athletic at the corner position instead of just getting the longer, more physical guys that they're used to getting. They want to have more speed at that position. That's a big reason why they recruited Jair Hill last cycle, because he was a guy that had great verified track times, ran in the low 10.7s in the 100 meters. So Bryce West, it fits that type of mold. On top of that, he's been extremely well coached throughout his high school career. He's very technical. He's a guy that's extremely savvy as well, high football IQ, great instincts, guy that you can put out on an island and just lock people up in man coverage. So I think he really excels there. And even though he's not the biggest guy, I think he still likes to mix it up and is physical and a willing tackler as well. So I had a chance to get my first look at Bryce West last year at the Under Armour camp in Columbus, Ohio, and he was extremely impressive there and was one of the top overall performers. So really liked what I saw from West in individual drills there. Now, it's funny because at the time that I saw West at that camp, Michigan was basically an afterthought. I didn't get a chance to interview West at the camp, and usually I, harp on myself if I don't get everybody I need to get. And with West, I was like, I missed him, man. That's fine, because it's likely he's going to Ohio State. Fast forward to now, and Michigan is a true player in this recruitment. This is a heated Ohio State-Michigan battle. And one of the biggest reasons I thought that last year was because even though Michigan was coming off the first win over Ohio State in quite some time, there was still a little bit of doubt that it could have been, a flash in the pan, and Ohio State was still getting whoever it wanted to get in its own backyard. The Ohio kids seemed to really gravitate towards staying home and playing for the Buckeyes. And on top of that, he goes to Glenville, which the head coach there happens to be Ted Ginn Sr., father of former Ohio State star Ted Ginn Jr., and Glenville has historically been very Ohio State friendly, so it's going to be tough to pull any kid out of Glenville, especially a guy as highly ranked as Bryce West. However, Michigan beat Ohio State again this year. They have picked up some steam in the state of Ohio last year, landing a handful of diamonds in the rough, including another Ohio cornerback in Cameron Calhoun. This year, they're off to a really good start recruiting the state of Ohio. They already have one on 300 commitment in Luke Hamilton along the offensive line. They're in it with several of the state's other highly touted recruits, including Brian Robinson, an on 300 edge who is considered a Michigan lean, and West. And West is a kid that just keeps on quietly visiting Michigan. Everybody still kind of thinks he's going to end up at Ohio State. In fact, on the On3 recruiting prediction machine, the Buckeyes have a 97% chance of landing him. So pretty heavy on the Ohio State side. However, like I said, West keeps on visiting. He visited last year. He visited last year in the offseason. He visited again in the fall. He actually made it to a summer camp as well. He was back on campus last month for a January visit that was really more personalized, the smaller of the two big recruiting weekends in January. And Steve Clinkscale has done a phenomenal job with West and recruiting in Ohio in general. Remember, Clink was the primary recruiter in Ohio during his time at Kentucky. He is an Ohio native, being from Youngstown, so he connects really well with the Ohio kids, and he has great relationships there. In fact, Clink spent a large amount of his travel days in January in the state of Ohio. Jesse Minter, Michigan's defensive coordinator, has gotten really, really involved in this recruitment as well. Minter went out to Cleveland and saw West. He really broke down film with him during his visit this past month, and so I think both Clinkscale and Minter are doing everything they can to land West and pull him out of enemy territory. And now some pessimists may say that it could be a waste of time. I like to consider myself more of a realist. I think it is going to be difficult to pull Bryce West away from Ohio State, but I do think there is a puncher's chance. I don't think it's a complete waste of time, and neither does Michigan. They wouldn't be pouring in the amount of resources they poured into the Bryce West recruitment if they didn't think they had a legitimate chance. So Michigan is going to keep pushing for him. Like I said, I think this is a true Ohio State-Michigan battle. I would be absolutely shocked if he ends up anywhere else other than Michigan or Ohio State. I think both schools will receive official visits, and West will make his decision after that. He may check out a few other schools, but again, I think this one definitely comes down to Michigan and Ohio State. We'll see if the Wolverines can pull the upset. So we'll have you completely covered on the Bryce West recruitment, as well as other top targets over at thewolverine.com. Like I said earlier, subscribe now for just $29.99 until August 31st. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is completely free.